Anime is in a weird spot right now, and in my opinion it's because of the jarring difference between new age anime and old age anime. And these two ages of anime aren't necessarily making anime worse to watch, but it is making it hard for new people to get into the genre itself, including me as well. And I think to better explain what I'm talking about, I need to explain these two anime ages. And the two ages I'm talking about are seasonal anime and weekly anime. Now for the seasonal animes, they're typically more modern animes like Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, Solo Leveling, and a lot more I'm not mentioning right now. But the weeklies are typically older animes like Naruto, One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, and others I am not mentioning right now. Now I'm going to say a few things before I get into my main point of this video, and here's what I'm going to say. Weekly animes have done so much for anime as a whole, introducing it to a Western audience, introducing it honestly to the whole world, and making some classic animes that people still talk about today. Everyone talks about Naruto, everyone talks about Dragon Ball Z. Hell, Dragon Ball Z is still making episodes. One Piece is still making episodes. Like, these are classics that have stood the test of time. I mean, Dragon Ball came out in the late 80s and One Piece came out in the 90s. So these are TV shows that have been around for a pretty long time and have somehow kept a pretty big audience throughout this whole time. Hell, it's grown. The audience of these shows have grown. And yes, I know Naruto started in 2002 and has Boruto now, and it's still making episodes with Boruto, but come on, it's Boruto. Now with all that glazing out of the way, weekly anime is so hard for the average Joe Schmo to just get into. Let's just go with an example here that I personally have more experience with, Naruto. Naruto has 720 episodes altogether, with Naruto having 220 and Naruto Shippuden having 500. To put that in perspective, a seasonal anime, Attack on Titan, only has 94 episodes altogether. So yeah, 720 episodes is a shit ton of episodes to watch. I have personal experience. I tried to watch Naruto, I watched all of Kid Naruto, and then after like 20 episodes of Naruto Shippuden, I just quit. And look, I enjoyed Kid Naruto. I thought it was peak fiction. It was really good. But I just could not keep droning on because there was times where it got so slow. And I know it picks up. I know Naruto Shippuden has the Akatsuki and Pain and Madara, and it gets peak as fuck. But I'm not trying to watch that many episodes when I can go ahead and watch Demon Slayer and get all the oodles and goodles and still have fun while only watching 63 episodes. Now I know some people are going to say, well, you have no attention span, zero attention span. I'm not even going to respond to that because I know I have an attention span, but there's also people saying, well, dude, a lot of those episodes in Naruto are filler. You can just skip them. And yes, this is true, but you shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to pull out a filler list online just to make sure that you're watching the episodes that actually matter in the show. Sorry to burst your bubble here, but all episodes in the show should matter. I mean, I was using a filler chart, but think about the average person who wants to get into anime, watch a classic like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, or God forbid, One Piece. I think the insane amount of episodes and the fact you have to use a sheet to watch a show, a literal chart to watch a show, it's just going to turn most people away. It just is. And look, I'm not saying weekly animes are bad by any means, but I am saying that it's kind of from a different time and different age, and that's why most people who really love One Piece and really love Dragon Ball Z and Naruto, most of them, I would say about 70% of them, watched it when they were a child or a teenager or something, when they had unlimited time to just sit down and just watch the show continuously day after day. Hell, they might have been watching this when it was coming out weekly, so the show structure actually worked out for them. So I really can't blame people who like weekly anime, because I think it comes down to if you actually grew up with that show structure because you're actually accustomed to it. You don't mind sitting down and watching hundreds of episodes because you've been doing that shit since you were 12 years old. And I think I'm a perfect example of the opposite of that. I grew up watching seasonal animes like Sword Art Online. Hey look, don't flame me, bro. Sword Art Online is peak fiction. SAO is peak fiction. Kirito is a goated MC. But I also watched shows like Death Note and Code Geass, which I really liked. I never really watched shows like Naruto or Dragon Ball Z or One Piece. I mean, I watched a little bit of Dragon Ball and it was running on Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. I think it was mostly reruns. I watched that whenever I fucking speak, whenever it was on. But I mostly watched regular show and Adventure Time and shows like that. I never really sought out Dragon Ball Z and Naruto and those type of shows. Then after that, I kind of took a break from anime and stopped really watching it. But then a friend got me back into it and put me on to Attack on Titan. Now, I watched Attack on Titan when its first season came out. I watched that when I was a kid as well, but then I didn't really ever watch it again because no more seasons were put on Netflix, so I didn't watch it anymore. But then I got put onto Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, some others I'm not remembering right now, and then Naruto. I'm actually like the worst case for liking weekly animes because not only did I not grow up on it, but for my whole anime watching, I guess, career, I didn't watch a single weekly anime until I was the ripe age of 17. So I really can't be blamed for not liking weekly animes because I went 17 years of my life not having to watch a fight go on for 15 episodes. I went 17 years of my life not having to, see an epic fight, a crazy reveal, and I have to see the main character like hunt for his dog who's lost, or see some stupid villain backstory that I do not care about at all and is not mixed into the story well at all. Like, to put this in perspective, I'm going to use the example of Breaking Bad. Imagine when, there's going to be Breaking Bad spoilers, so if you don't want to hear those, skip. Imagine when Hank dies after he gets, shot. Do what you're gonna do. Imagine that the next episode spends a whole episode just focused on Hank's backstory. Bro, what? Like, that is so ass, but that's a common trope in weekly animes for some reason, and people just accept it. And I'm not saying my Hank example was basically a one-for-one comparison to one of these weekly animes, but it's pretty close. And look, once again, I'm not saying that weekly animes are bad, but this kind of stuff is just objectively not good television. It's just not good writing. It simply isn't. The stuff weekly anime does and gets away with all the time and people just continuously glaze it like it's perfect would never fly in an actual live action TV show like Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones or whatever. And look, I get it, it's two different mediums, but I'm just trying to explain my point of that someone going from, just regular TV, regular seasonal TV, anime, or live action, it's hard for them to get into something that's weekly. It just is. So yeah, this video basically sums up why me and many other people just can't get into weekly animes and why people like myself quit in the middle of Naruto. But I think I'm going to give it another chance. I think I'm going to start back where I left off because look, I've seen some clips and it looks pretty cool. It looks like some so-called peak that you speak of, and I want to experience that because I'm low-key kind of jealous. I want to see these crazy battles you speak of. I want to see Madara and the Akatsuki and all that crazy stuff. So I think I'm going to give it another try. I'm going to try and finish Naruto this time, and yeah. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. I'm going to be doing more videos about TV shows, movies, film, entertainment. So if you guys like that type of stuff, make sure to like and sub, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.